So welcome back to part two. We've got Aaron on. Welcome back to the kitchen, Aaron. And yeah, so if you've not watched part one, please watch part one before immersing yourself into part two. Now we're gonna get onto how Aaron got clean. And yeah, so take us back. What made you get clean, mate?
So basically, for me, it was the getting pulled over bit by the police twice in the space of 36 hours. That fear of going to prison and jail and basically not knowing what my life was going to hold, and knowing that if I did go to jail, I was in a bad way. I was going to really struggle for the rest of my life, to be honest. And I panicked, um, and that was literally it. I drove home. I went to my dad's, and my dad helped me out massively through my addiction, like hugely. He was always there, same as a lot of my family, to be fair. But my dad basically said, right, this has got to stop. And I was like, yeah, I know. I need help. What am I going to do? So I
Yeah.
was looking at going back into rehab, and they couldn't get me in. They couldn't fit me in because I'd been twice before. They were like, is this bloke really deadly serious about his rehabilitation?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I am, but maybe rehab isn't the place for me because I've done it twice now and I'm struggling with it. And somebody recommended me just going to a meeting, like to a CA meeting. And I couldn't face going to the actual meeting. So I jumped on like a Zoom meeting like this onto
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
the
yeah,
ones that
yeah.
you can do.
Many
Had my
people,
camera
by
off.
the way, sorry, I'm just going to jump in there because I think it's a
Yeah.
great point. Many people do struggle, and especially if you've got anxiety like yourself, going to a face-to-face meeting, and if you've never been before, I think it can be a scary thing. Do you do
Yeah.
face-to-face meetings now?
Yeah. So I found it a lot easier now. So
So I didn't even
it was
know
just
this,
that.
before we did this podcast, I didn't even know you was a member of Fellowship.
No, I know you didn't. So yeah, I've completed my 12
Wow.
steps, done my 12 steps, I had a sponsor, the full works, mate. This is what saved my life. Genuinely, I cannot praise them rooms enough. It saved my life. I guarantee you now, if I hadn't gone into one of them meetings, I'd have been dead.
I would.
Because
I,
I'd got in with some bad people, I was doing stupid stuff. I'd have ended up in jail for at least 10 years, or I'd have been dead.
I didn't even know you was part of Fellowship. I know you've been following me for a while and we talk all the time and on inbox and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
I didn't even know you was part of Fellowship. Wow. So do you
yeah.
think, I think, and we've talked in part one about being in rehab and relapsing after rehab. Do you think the stuff that you learn in rehab, because it's very intense rehab, very
Yeah,
intense, outside world's completely different as we talked, but you learn a lot in rehab and if you can apply that to going to meetings and doing it, I think you've got a lot more knowledge. Do you reckon?
yeah. That's all I've done. So basically, I took certain things that I'd learned from rehab and started working that in the meetings, basically.
Yeah.
And that's where I struggled with. If I'd have come out of rehab and I'd gone to the CA meetings and been doing my meetings and continued to put the work in and not tossed it off, I suppose, and thought I'm all right, I would have had so much more clean time behind me now, and I'd have been sober for over 2 years. But literally, because
It's
I didn't
very,
do that,
very, very similar to mine. I think, and a lot of people do it because of our ego and our. We go out there and we test the fucking water, mate, and we go, you know what? I did 5 months. I've done 5 months, mate. I can go back. Mate,
can't do it.
I had shandy for a week, shandies for the second week. Then I started drinking pints, and then I just put that down. And I thought, fuck this, mate. It's not. I don't get from drinking what I got from cocaine. I don't even want to drink, me. I just want to sniff, but I'd set the wheels in motion with them drinks, like. And
Yeah,
I tested it, mate, and for 3 months, 4 months, maybe just sniffing every day.
yeah. Same as me. That I hated the feeling of being drunk. I did. I hate the feeling of being pissed. I hate the way it made me feel.
Yeah, I
It was
do.
horrible.
I
It was
just want to go
horrible.
sleep, me. I
Yeah,
just.
same. I don't really enjoy the taste of it, to be honest. I was just doing it because I was doing it because it was a social thing to do. But you get me around a bag of cocaine and stuff like that, I could literally go for days and days and
Would you
days
dry?
until my money ran out.
Would you dry sniff?
Oh yeah, massively. Used to do it
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah.
I'd go
Wow.
I'd go months without drinking. I wouldn't drink for like
Yeah,
3 months, but literally in that 3 months, I'd smash the
yeah.
cocaine.
People you say to me, "Fuck me, mate. You must be doing well not seeing you in pub for a bit." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, no, everything's sweet." Little did they know, I'm just dry sniffing in my bedroom every day.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
paranoid. I was
mean?
looking at curtain twitching, mate, looking out the windows, making sure SAS weren't coming to get me or something. Like, I genuinely thought there were snipers on the roof and all sorts, mate. It was horrendous. Your psychosis you go into, and you just think that
Mate,
people
honestly, I used to
are
think
after.
when I was at my dad's before I got clean, there was a bush all over the road, mate, and I kind of promise you that bush, like a big bush, it was like them little Toy Story, that little army Toy Stories, mate. You know how many nights and days I've spent looking at that bush, going, Woody's gonna pop out any moment here, like Woody
Yeah,
just be they're them Toy Story green men, mate.
yeah. It was horrendous, mate. I same as you, but yeah, that's if I had to put that work into the fellowship and getting a sponsor and all that kind of stuff and continuing on meetings,
Yeah, yeah.
um, I wouldn't be here. And the best thing about it
How many meetings a week did you start on?
when I first started, I was literally a meeting at least 2 meetings a day. Like so, I was on Zoom doing them on Zoom. I was like one in the morning, one at night, religiously before I went to bed. And my sponsor
Wow.
told me I literally needed to do 90 meetings in 90 days.
Yeah,
That's what
man.
I got told. 90 meetings in 90 days. And it gave me some accountability for my actions. It basically made me go, right, well, I used to be able to do 90 days of sniffing. Why can't I do 90 days of why can't I do 90 days of
It's
going on a
great,
meeting?
though.
It's easy. I just got to pick up my phone. It's not costing me anything. Wasn't costing me every time I went on a
No.
meeting, whereas when I was on the bag, it was costing me. It was costing me nothing. But some of the people that you hear and just people that have got experience and stuff in them rooms, it's amazing. It actually makes you feel a bit better about yourself, to be honest, because
You
some people
sure
in
right.
there
No way. Right, so have you got any advice for people struggling out there?
get to a meeting. It's the
Get
biggest
to
thing I
me.
can say. Don't even need to have to go. You can literally, like I said, there's them Zoom meetings, there's links, there's so many different links and stuff that you can join into onto a CA meeting. Um,
Yeah. Sorry,
that,
sorry to interrupt. I'm trying to just get on these comments. So we're just gonna, so get to me. It's the only thing that's ever saved me.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely. But you've got to want to do it. You've got
Yeah.
to want to do it for yourself. It doesn't matter. The only advice I can say is if you're going to say, I want to get clean and sober for my kids, for my family, for somebody else, it's the wrong reason, I found anyway. I've
Yeah.
tried that twice, didn't work. I had to get clean and sober for me and put my recovery at the start before everything else, before my family, before my kids, before anything, before friends. That my recovery was my most important thing for that first 3 months, for that first 90 days anyway, was the most important thing to me. If it meant that I was late to tea or, I couldn't put my little girl to bed, so be it.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, if you don't
there was so
recover,
much.
this is what I struggle with some people because I work with others today, and I see like people say to me all the time, like, well, I can't because I've got to listen. You weren't fucking arsed when you was using, and
Right.
this stuff's gonna get you fucking help you. Like,
Yeah,
I've got people at the minute that I can't get to the meeting because I'm at a family fucking meal. How many meals have you missed because you've fucking used? How,
exactly.
and I get it now, and today I have a balance. I have a big balance of, you know what, I can miss a meeting today. Do you know, I don't
Yeah,
need to be at a meeting every day anymore. I really don't. I've got a great sponsor. I've got sponsees every day. I do my program at home every single day. I pray and meditation, maybe not so much. And I help others. I try and help each other's every day, on my social media and people who reach out from fellowship. But at the start, when I just come out of a relapse, I just had to be at a meeting, mate.
yeah, yeah. I was the same as you. I had to be at a meeting all the time. Now, I'll jump on one a week, something like that. Um, Still, obviously, in all like my CA group's got a WhatsApp group, and I see all the messages. Now, I listen to a lot of podcasts now. I follow your page religiously. I love the stuff that you post because I can just relate to it so much. So that's the biggest thing that I've found
Thank
from
you.
recovery is that I can relate to so many different people on
Yeah.
that level, and I'll never ever judge anyone ever again. I used to be the worst for it, me. Judge people. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them sniff heads. I'm
Oh,
not one of them.
I don't
And
judge them.
I was one of the worst, but I didn't want to admit that that's what I was. And I think until I admitted that I had a problem and that I was really struggling, and you know what, it's all right to admit that you've got a problem and get the help. I was never ever going to change, and I have changed now, and I'm, 10 months into my
Oh, man.
recovery, and I can't wait for the year to it. To be honest, I mean, I'm buzzing, but it's one day at
Hey,
a time.
bet you've not
Obviously,
got a Friday night bill coming, have you?
no,
Fucking
have I yet,
Friday, mate.
mate?
I do
No,
chocolate days these days.
yeah, it's great now. I can afford to get a takeaway on a Friday night if I want one, because they are expensive these days. So you need all the
Don't
money
get me
you can
going.
get.
76 quid it cost me overnight. I'm fucking living. Right, so we're gonna finish the podcast. We've got a lot of questions on TikTok, so
Okay.
we'll pick 5 of them. Um, this is good. I love this question. I love this, and this comes in off Alan on TikTok. The first time you admitted to someone you had a problem, how much weight felt like it lifted from your shoulders?
Oh, it was unbelievable. I carried all this weight around for months and months, years. Didn't want to admit to anyone that I was struggling. And the first time I sat down with someone, and I remember it was my best mate, sat down with him, and I said, mate, I just wanted to let you know, I think I've got a massive problem with cocaine. And he went, yeah, I know you do. So he already knew. I
Mate,
was like, I was like,
this
what do you mean, you know? And he was like, mate, I've known for months, but I just, until you were ready to admit that you had a problem and you were going to come and talk to me, I can't help you. And
oh,
that was it. For me,
that is
it
it.
literally,
Admittance.
yeah, I admitted to him and it was just, he already knew, but I didn't think anyone knew. So yeah,
Crazy.
it
You
was
know, I
amazing.
always say whether this is right or wrong, the terminology. Coming out as an addict is just like a person who comes out gay, who
Yeah.
has got, like, listen, we all knew he was gay. Do you know what I mean? But I think the relief of just like, this is why my social media helps me massively today. Everybody, wherever I fucking go these days, whether it's back to my old town like I did on Wednesday night to train, knows what I am, right?
Yeah.
Don't judge me for that. I don't fucking care. But it solves so many problems around what's gone on in the past, what I can't do these days. Nobody invites me out for a pint anymore, mate. Nobody,
No.
I've not been invited out for a pint for I don't know how many for fucking a year, mate. Right? It solves a lot of issues. That.
Yeah. Amazing, isn't it? But yeah, that was the biggest weight off my shoulders because I don't have to lie to anyone, didn't have to
Brilliant.
lie to myself. I can just go and be me. And if people want
Yeah.
to judge me for that, they can, but until they've walked in my shoes, they can't judge me.
No. Brilliant. I think yeah. So I think coming out and saying you're an addict or saying you've got problems. Not a lot of people who sniff cocaine will be an addict. They're just going maybe just there's different stages of addictions, but
Yeah.
I think it's fucking. I think it's number one. It's the start of getting clean. That it's a start.
Yeah,
Admitting, admitting to yourself, and admitting to another person.
definitely.
Hopefully they don't finger. Let's just have a look through others. Yeah, there's a great one. Cafe, and this is regarding her partner. Oh no, it might be regarding her. Kathy says, have had addiction issues for nearly 20 years. How do you stop relapsing? I do well, then relapse is mentally draining. So sick of this life and cycle. I think
Yeah,
I've
look, I think, yeah, I've relapsed a few times, obviously, after coming out of rehab and all that kind of stuff. And I suppose you've got to learn from what your triggers are or signs. You've got to try and think back to what certain things triggered you. Because for the first thing for me was because I used to rob from supermarkets, made to feed my addiction. I'm happy
every
to
day,
admit
mate.
it now.
I'm still.
Yeah,
I think I'm still banned now from fucking Asda and Lee. Still banned from Sainsbury's, mate. I've had fucking scraps with security guards, me. I've had them
same.
chase me. I've had them lock me in toilets and everything, mate.
Yeah, I've had the
This
same
is like this is
running
super.
after me with their phones, recording me, everything. And because I didn't want to be seen, I'd smash the phone out their hand, and
Mate,
then the next minute you're on.
I come out of rehab 2 years ago, right? And I come out of rehab, I was clean and sober for fucking hell, brand new start. Walks in for a shot, mate, and my fucking face is out fucking window. I thought, how long's that been up there without me seeing it? And I fucking ripped
Yeah,
it down, like, but But I think, like, if you've been relapsing 20 years and you're doing it on your own, it's time to not do it on your own, and it's try and get in fellowship, get to a meeting.
Yeah, get
I
in
couldn't
fellowship, get to a meeting.
I could not do it on my own, mate. I had no answers to how I felt, or what I felt
No,
like.
no, and get supportive people around you. I'm not going to lie, my family have been amazing with me and my partner and stuff. Like how I've had more lives than a cat, mate, with her, and
Yeah,
how she is still stood by me is unbelievable. So, yeah, getting the right people around you, getting to meetings, and just learning from your past relapses, what may have
yeah,
brought that
massive.
relapse on, your triggers, your signs. Like, yeah, because me going into a supermarket, mate, was a massive trigger for me. Because
I've
that
learned
was
a
like,
lot
I was
from.
nicking.
And we said it before about relapse. I've learned so much from relapsing, from what I relapsed,
Yeah,
where I was, who I was hanging around with, the people I was still talking to, the kind of shit I was putting myself, situations like still hanging around with people. And this is going to lead it on to our next question. Do you feel awkward when people around you don't drink? And this is from Royal Celtic, sorry, on TikTok. Do you feel awkward when people around you don't drink or taking when sorry, let me start again. Royal Celtic, do you feel awkward when people around you don't take or drink in front of you just because you're an addict?
right, okay.
Like that?
So I've got an answer to that one. So the drinking bit doesn't bother me at all. They can, if people don't want to have a drink around me, that's up to them. I'm not bothered. If you want to have a drink, have a drink. But to be honest, the second bit of it with the taking and using, I don't hang around with people like that anymore. I've
Yeah,
got them
man.
out of my life. So
Great answer.
literally, all them people are out of my life because if they weren't out of my life, I'd still be doing what they're doing now, which is using.
Mate, and I've got nothing against all my mates who use, right? Using,
Oh,
if they're bad, they're bad. And if they're using, so my one of my best mates is fucking you. He gets wrecked every weekend, but he'll have one night out and his life is
yeah,
not upside down. I'm not going to judge him because he takes drugs, but I'm the fucking problem one. And if I go and sit
yeah,
with them all every fucking weekend, I'm going to get fucking jealous, mate. And I'm going
yeah,
to start questioning, am I an addict? More and more, and I'm gonna go, well, listen, life isn't fair. And I'm watching my
yeah.
mates come out of toilets like that, dead eye and dead happy for the first fucking hour. I'm gonna start questioning it. Me. I'm gonna
Same,
start
same, mate. Do
my
you
life
get
shit
this? Yeah. Do you get this? Do you get the fear of missing out
all the time.
all the time? It's massive, isn't it? Like that's my biggest thing is a fear of missing out. But then I realize I'm not actually missing out because I
Nah,
wouldn't be.
nah. Do you know what that is? That's the spiritual change. That is
Yeah,
a change in mindset. The first thought has come in. The first thought is I'm fucking missing out on something because I always say it. I always have it. I had it last night in bed when I was ill. Fucking hell, man, I'd be wired now. But I never had. And then the second that thought fucks off, and all the fucking the spiritual side of me comes in, and but look where you are today, and fucking hell, mate. You know what?
exactly. That's
And
what I
that I
have to
think I got
remind
all that from
myself.
the relapse. Um,
Yeah, that's a good question though. That was. I like that question.
But I think, I trained with a lot of my old mates on Wednesday night and I trained and I got off. Like my best mate, listen to this, my best mate is a manager of that team. Obviously, I've no cover today. And he's like, I'm like, I'm free, me, mate. I can play for you if you want. He's like, fucking no chance. And I was like, why? He's like, you fucking no chance you're coming back down here. Right? This is what I love about him, right? Because, I could I'll be a great player at that standard in Manchester Premier. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck, mate. He's like, you're not coming back down here on a Saturday with all the lads around you. I was like, wow. He's like, I don't care about fucking foot, mate. I'm your mate and I don't want you fucking your life up again.
Yeah, around the people that are gonna you're gonna end up going
I'm the one
mingling
that keeps texting him saying I'm ready for Saturday if you need me.
with.
But I'm being honest, like I could go back down there now and I could go and I've done it where I've been playing in that area and I could go and go, you know what, I'm playing from get there at 12, kick off at 2 and just get off after the game because I've done it now, you know what I mean? I'm back playing football, well I was until I got fucked off. I get off the pitch, me, I'm knackered. I have my antipsychotic straight away and I get home and I like being at home on a Saturday night, me now. I love being at
Yeah,
home. I love being at fucking home and that life for me is only going to get better when I get my child back.
exactly.
Right, let's do one more. And I want to say sorry, guys, for doing this in part two. I didn't realise I had to pay for the Zoom. Yes, we've done that. I can't answer that question. Somebody's put here, recovered addict, and this is somebody from Fellowship, by the way, who jumps on me sometimes for some of the shit I post online. So they are in Fellowship. Why is the message watered down so much in the Fellowship, more focused on meetings than we are the power of God? Where do you lie with the God thing? Do you have a higher power?
Yeah, I've got a higher power. It doesn't have to be that though. It doesn't
No.
have to be God. It can be
No.
anything. Anything can be a higher power. You know, my higher power today is that I don't use and I will never use again. Literally, I won't use. The fact that I'm 10 months clean and sober, and I think of my little girl now. Now I think of my little girl. My little girl's my higher power. So every time I think of her, I know that for today I cannot touch, drink or drugs. Simple.
See, my higher power is just my mum, mate. Just my mum,
Yeah.
who lost her life to alcohol. And I get on my hands and knees every morning and I pray.
Yeah.
Right. So, last question. Last
Go on then.
question.
Go on.
Because this is a belter, this.
Oh
And
yes.
no, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just, I think some people think that somebody's put referrals 21 on TikTok. What do you do for fun now? Now, I was going to start with fucking my using weren't fun, mate, in the end. Like, I didn't
I was
have
gonna
fun.
say it was horrendous, mate. I was sat in my car, like in car parks and behind buildings and stuff, like sneaking out window to make sure no one was coming past as I was doing stuff. That's not fun, mate.
I think,
I tell
like,
you.
I always, whenever, every day I picked up, like, the first hour would be fun. Like, my first hour, I've been buzzing, I've been mooching about, then happy, chatting. And that was it.
Yeah.
What
Then
do
I
you
was
do anyway?
horrendous.
What do you do for fun?
So me for fun, I spend great quality time now with my family, and we go and do things. We go for like on a weekend, we'll go somewhere and we'll go for
Yeah,
walks and
that
just like
spiritual change.
be present in the moment.
Uh,
Taking my little girl to the park's fun for me now because I never used to do it because I couldn't. I was
yeah,
too paranoid to go outside.
that that is the power of recovery because, I've got Lauren and I've got the other two kids, who I look after every day, and I love spending time with them. And when I get my own daughter back in the mix in a couple of months, that's
Yeah,
all I need. Like, I don't do much other stuff. I go to the gym every now and then, like play football. And majority of the time, I'm with my family, me. And that's, I think, a 35-year-old guy who's got fucking 3 kids now. Fucking hell, that's twice. I've got 3 kids now, and last year I didn't have fucking one. I couldn't see my own child. I'm happy doing that. Don't get me
yeah,
wrong,
and
I
that's the
love to
same as
do my
me.
own stuff every now and then because, got to get a balance, but yeah.
Yeah, I like going. I like going for breakfast every now and then. I like going for a coffee and that kind of stuff, and catching up with
Yeah.
a couple of close friends that that know my situation and look after me as well. Don't put me in awkward situations, which is great. They think of me all the time. So but spending time with family for me is what I do for fun because I just never used to do it. Just used to make an excuse, an argument, me to go out so I could
Yeah.
go and do what I was doing.
Do you know, and when I need a break from family life, because I do sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I
Yeah,
get pissed off. So I'll be honest with you, sometimes I get pissed off that I can't see my own child and I'm looking after 2 other kids and I get guilty and all that I'm spending my money on these 2 kids and I can't spend money on my own daughter. And like my breakaway is just going to a meeting.
yeah,
You know what? I just need a meeting, me. I need a meeting, listen to others, get some hope, and I need a break from fucking doing what I'm doing in an hour, and I come back in best mood.
yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna finish on that, mate. Thank you for coming on. A
Amazing, mate.
professional cricketer who was the victim of addiction, but now 10 months
Oh
clean
my
and
God.
sober.
Yeah. If I can do it, if you can do it, especially if you can do it, that's what's got me for it. If you can do it, mate, anyone can do it. And that's I just think if you put the work in and you really do work
Gotta
them
put the
steps,
work in. Yeah,
you've got to do
brilliant.
it. If you put that work in, honestly, it's amazing. Like just the change and seeing people and people that,
Yeah,
disown me because they wouldn't want to speak to me because they didn't want to be associated with me now.
yeah.
Speak to me, talk to me. My family
I
talk
don't
to me.
know.
They're happy, they're
I'm now
proud of me.
I'm like the most like reliable person out of everyone. Like
Yeah,
even my fam, like Do you know what I mean? I'm reliable where people are messaging me for advice that fucking last year were absolutely slating me.
Yep.
You know what I
Same.
mean?
I get that.
Like, you know what I mean? Because I turn up every day and like I think just cocaine brings so much fucking lying, fucking stealing and all. You're not gonna lie. No one's gonna come for
The
you for
best thing ever
advice,
now
man.
that I don't have to lie to anyone. I don't steal. I
Yeah.
don't lie to anyone. I'm honest. And that's the best thing. I can just be myself because I don't have to think about, oh, what did I say I was doing yesterday
Yeah.
to someone that
That's
I've
it.
lied to. Don't get caught up in your web of lies.
Well, thank you for coming on, mate, and being the first guest. If
Amazing.
anybody out there would like to come on here, pop me a message on either my M&B WhatsApp number or message me um, on any of my social media. But please be aware that I do get a lot of messages and I may not see it. But yeah, I'm going to try and do two of these a week, me, and see how I go. I've got about 3 or 4 guests lined up for the next couple of weeks. We'll get in touch. And thank you again, Aaron, for
No,
sharing the
thank
way
you.
you got clean and sober. And I'm sure
Thank
you're
you.
gonna help people out there, man. So well done for them.
Amazing. Thanks so much, mate. It's been a pleasure.
Take it easy on the ones and twos.
Take it easy.
See you later. Bye.
See you, mate.